third. Crosby's only play is to first, and that's a successful sacrifice for Gigi Braga's score at 5-3. Bellotta takes second. She's in scoring position for Roxy Vento. Remember, the last times these teams played in the Little East Conference semifinals, Beacons won 1-0. The one run came back in the first inning, and it was Roxy Vento who drive it home. Has an RBI opportunity here as she fouls off the first pitch. Roxy Vento, a sophomore from Arlington, Massachusetts, is hitting .443 this season with a home run and 20 RBIs. 0-1-2er from right-handed pitcher Molly St. Germain. Rise ball well high. Count stays at 1-1. Ari Bellotta still on second after her leadoff single. With 2 strikes, she drove it right up the middle. 1-1 to Vento, fouled away. Bangs off the Clark Athletic Center, and the count goes to 1-2. Vento last season was the Little East Conference Rookie of the Year. She was second team all-conference. Hit .354 last season. Takes off the plate here. Count moves to 2-2. Last year, her .354 average led the Beacons. This season, she leads the Beacons with a .443 average. .354 would only be good enough for third. UMass Boston's hit .330 as a team this year. Vento clubs this one down the line and left. Bellotta rounds third. She's on her way home. It's an RBI single for Roxy Vento, who takes second base on the throw. So just like last year when these teams met in the Little East Conference semifinals, Roxy Vento drives in a run in the first inning. 1-0 Beacons. Brings up senior Gia Raskowski for UMass Boston. Raskowski out of Stoneham, Massachusetts, is the Beacon leader with 3 home runs and with 18 RBI. She's good for third on the team there. Raskowski takes a first pitch ball. Raskowski swings through it. Count moves to 1-1. 1-0 UMass Boston with a run home already here against first place Keene State. This is hit hard right side. Gobbled up by the second baseman, Kay Lovato, and her throw gets Raskowski. Ground ball to the right side does move Roxy Vento up to third with 2 down. Well, that sets things up for Alyssa Tully, the sophomore third baseman. Tully's hitting at .333 this season with 5 RBIs. First pitch swinging, chopper. That rolls in fair territory. Catcher Elwell makes the throw in time. So Elwell fields the swinging bunt, and that does it for the first. UMass Boston gets on the board. RBI single for Roxy Vento, scores Ari Bellotta. We'll head to the second. It's 1-0 Beacons on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Here's what's coming up next for UMass Boston. Salem State out of conference on Thursday, and then back into Little East play with Rhode Island College and Southern Maine. Beacons at 3-3 on the conference season. They started 1-3, but with the 2 wins this weekend, they've started their climb now back into contention in the conference. But with that early 1-3 start, there's not very much margin for error, so the Beacons need to take care of business in these conference doubleheaders. 1-0 UMass Boston leads Keene State after the first inning in game 1 of 2. Olivia Indorf is the batter here in inning number 2, the cleanup batter to lead things off for Keene State. Jess Greenspan working inside the circle, throws high and outside for ball 1. Indorf hits at .281, a home run, 9 RBIs as well this season. Indorf takes a called strike. Count moves to 1-1. In that top of the first, Keene State went down 1-2-3, 2 infield pop-ups, and a bunt back to the pitching mound. Jess Greenspan brings it home. Off speed, missed outside. Greenspan out of Rocky Hill, Connecticut, was all-state as a senior, a 3-time all-conference pitcher at Rocky Hill High School. Also captained her school's cross-country team. 2-1. Missed outside. It's 3-1. Greenspan majoring in nursing as a freshman here at UMass Boston this season. Here comes the 3-1. Hits the outside corner. Good spot. It's 3-2. Very little wasted movement in Jess Greenspan's windup. You see in softball so many different unique windups. It's like every windup's like a snowflake. There are no two that are quite the same. But hers wastes no space at all. Chopped right back to her. Easy throw to first, and Mitziaris gloves it. 4 up, 4 down for Jess Greenspan.
Now batting number 6, Eliza Guerrero.
Now with 1 away, Eliza Guerrero digs in. Guerrero, tall, lanky center fielder, stands at 5'10". It's Connecticut versus Connecticut here. She's from Fairfield, Connecticut, against the pitcher from Rocky Hill. Guerrero takes a ball. 277 hitter this season. She does have some power, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. One of just 3 Owls to play in every game this season. She takes low for a ball, 2-0. Two home runs, 2 triples, 5 doubles this season for Guerrero. So 9 of her 18 hits have gone for extra bases. Hits this one hard past the coach, Kiera Fisk-Hennessy, the third-year head coach who also coaches third base for Keene State. Speaking of head coaches, Natalia Ardenga, the UMass Boston coach, picked up her 150th and 151st wins of her coaching career in her 10th season over the weekend in the Beacon sweep of UMass Dartmouth. Two-one, off speed, it's 3-1. So Guerrero disciplined so far. She's laid off 3 pitches below the knees. Here comes Greenspan. Rise ball popped up. Left side of the infield. Braga wants it, and she's got it in foul territory. Now that's a couple of times today that Greenspan's induced pop-ups in hitters' counts. She got Galavati to pop out on a 2-0. Here on a 3-1, Guerrero skies out. Means 2 down for Brittany DeMota. Another one of the 3 players in the Keene State roster to have started and played all 21 games. DeMoto's a junior. First pitch is a strike. DeMoto's hitting at .229 this season with 13 RBIs. It's out of Monroe, Connecticut and Massac High School. 0-1. Good pitch. Knee high from Greenspan. Cats 0-2. Looking to cruise through her first 2 innings of work, coming off a weekend where she earned a Little East Pitcher of the Week honors with 13 innings and 2 wins against UMass Dartmouth. Goes off the plate away, and the count's 1-2. Again, in those 13 innings, she gave up just 3 earned runs to drop her freshman season ERA to 2.25. Now 1-2. Rise ball swung on and missed. First strikeout for Greenspan as she got DeMota to climb the ladder, and she's retired the first 6 she's faced. Through an inning and a half, UMass Boston 1, Keene State nothing on LittleEast.tv. We move to the bottom of the second on the Beacons Broadcast Network here on the campus of UMass Boston. Sunny skies, temperature in the mid-40s, and it's always breezy here in Beaconville with the water just to our right. It was 80 degrees yesterday for the Boston Marathon. I think the runners would rather have the 45-degree temperatures today. 1-0 Beacons. UMass Boston scored a 1 in the bottom of the first, and now Caitlin Morse leads off the bottom of the second.
Leading off to the bottom of the second, number 7, Caitlin Camo Morse.
Camo is a senior. She does the behind-the-back bunt here and drags it perfectly. Oh, bang play, and Kayla Votto got her. Score at 4-3. That was tremendous work from Votto as Morse pulled off that little nifty behind-the-back sneak attack bunt perfectly, and Votto still got her. Very few players in the Little East can retire Caitlin Morse when she puts that down. Brings up Taylor Paulina, and the sophomore takes ball 1. Paulina hitting at .307 on the season. In fact, 8 of the 9 Beacons in the batting order are hitting better than .300 this year. Paulina hammers this one up the middle, and her average will climb as this finds the gap. Paulina stops it first. It's a single. So with 1 down, Paulina's on first, and senior Lauren Mitsiaris will bat for the Beacons. Mitsiaris out of Taunton, Massachusetts, hitting at .328 in her senior season. 1 home run, 16 RBIs. It's a heck of a line to have in the 8-hole. First pitch is a strike. There really is no easy part of this Beacons order. 7, 8, 9, Paulina, Mitsiaris, and Prusmack are hitting .307, .328, and .406 this year. 0-1 misses away from Molly St. Germain. Counts 1-1. Beacons scored 1 run on 2 hits back in the first. Already picked up their 3rd hit of the game here in the second. 1-1. Ground ball back to the mound. St. Germain throws to short for 1, and that's all Keene State will get. Mitsiaris reaches on the fielder's choice. Score it 1-6. So 2 down, and now Mitsiaris on first as 9-hole hitter Kiera Prusmack will bat. Prusmack coming off a good weekend. She had 4 hits for the Beacons in the doubleheader win against UMass Dartmouth. First pitch is down and away for ball 1. Now 1-0. Prusmack lines it left field and down for a base hit. Kiera Prusmack keeps on hitting. That's her 5th hit over the last 3 games. Mitsiaris to second. 2 on, top of the order for UMass Boston. Ari Bellata will bat for the 2nd time. She singled in the first and scored the Beacons' only run.
Now batting number 13, Ari Bellata.
Beacons have Jess Greenspan rolling inside the circle, trying to give her some extra run support here in the second, already leading 1-0. UMass Boston 3-3 in the conference, 16-7 overall. Keene State tied for first in the conference at 3-1. Bellata pops it up behind home plate. The catcher Elwell makes the tough catch. Beacons strand 2 on base after 2. It's still 1-0 UMass Boston here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Back on the Beacons Broadcast Network, let's take a look around Beaconsville. Men's tennis taking on Johnson & Wales as we speak. Baseball is at Southern Maine, and USM leading 3-1. That's a really important game for the top of the Little East Baseball Conference. Lacrosse will play UMass Dartmouth tomorrow at 3:30 start. You can find on the Beacons Broadcast Network. So far, 6 up, 6 down for Jess Greenspan in the circle. Her first pitch to 7-hole hitter Shay Crosby is fouled off for strike one. Crosby, a junior from Salem, Connecticut. Keene State is a bit uncharacteristic for your average Little East school, not relying solely on in-state talent. In fact, more than half of their roster is from out of state, all throughout New England. This is bunted back to the mound. Third chance for Greenspan, and again she throws a strike. Over to the second baseman, Morse. It's a 1-4 putout on the bunt.
Now batting number 1, Kristen.
Every New England state except, in fact, every New England state is represented in the Keene State roster. New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, Maine, and Massachusetts. Guess you're missing Rhode Island. But more than half the roster is not from New Hampshire for Keene State. 8-hole hitter Kristen Boduck bunts one perfectly, and she's aboard. It's an infield single for Kristen Boduck, first base runner for Keene State. Boy, nothing Jess Greenspan can do about that. Continuing to deal on the mound. Good work by Boduck, the switch hitter, and now the freshman Michaela Pacey, as shortstop, will bat. Pacey out of Salem, New Hampshire. She's hitting at .277 in her freshman season. Pitch from Greenspan, up and away for a ball. Now watch Boduck on first. She is a speed threat, showing off those wheels by legging out the bunt single. She's 1 for 1 stealing bases this season. Not running here, ball's grounded foul. Of course, Roxy Vento is a really solid defensive catcher for the Beacons. Prolific pitch framer. One delivery, rise ball high. Moves the count to 2-1. Two-1 to Pacey. Fly ball, foul territory. Long run for the shortstop, Braga, and it falls in between her and the third baseman, Alyssa Tully. So it's 2-2 to Pacey. Leadoff batter Kayla Votto waits on deck. With one down, 2-2 count. Pacey at the dish and a runner on first. Swing and a miss at the changeup. Snap back to first, not in time. So Greenspan picks up her second strikeout as she pulled the string on Pacey. Boduck stuck on first with 2 down. Back to the top of the order in Kayla Votto. The senior Votto popped his shortstop back in the first. 1-0 UMass Boston, top 3 against Keene State. Rise ball from Greenspan, up and away for ball 1. Votto is senior. Third on the team with her .394 batting average. 5 doubles, 1 triple. Fouls this straight back to the screen, count to 1-1. 12 RBIs for Votto at the top of the order, and she is a running threat. 4 stolen bases this season if she reaches. Votto swings through this one. Good fastball from Greenspan. Moves the count to 1-2. Kayla and her sister Courtney both on the roster for Keene State. Pitch, rise ball, popped up foul. Goes out of play. Count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kayla Votto. Kristen Boduck still on first after a bunt single. She's the only base runner through 3 innings for Keene State. 1-2, slides outside. It's 2-2. Disciplined approach there from Votto, trying to work Greenspan. Now, the way Greenspan's been pitching for the Beacons in back-to-back games so often, if you're Keene State, you're trying to run the pitch count up to limit how many innings she can throw today. 2-2, changeup down low. It's 3-2. Good discipline from Votto there. So she's worked it full. That means with 2 outs, Boduk will get a head start when the ball leaves the pitcher's circle. Here's the 3-2, popped up right field, charging in. It falls in front of Raskowski. Boduk on her way to third. Raskowski's throw on the money and in time. Gia Raskowski guns down Kristen Boduk, and that ends the third. They'll scored a single for Vento, but the put out 9-5. Raskowski guns down the base runner Boduk, and we head to the bottom of the third, still 1-0 Beacons. We move to the bottom of the third, rapidly moving so far on a sunny, chilly day in Boston. Game 1 of a doubleheader between Keene State and UMass Boston. Keene State tied for the Little East Conference lead. UMass Boston 2 games back, tied for third. It's 1-0 Beacons. The lone run came back in the first inning on a Roxy Vento single. If this game were to end this way at 1-0, it would be basically a mirror image of the last time these teams played in the Little East Conference semifinals. UMass Boston last season knocked off Keene State 1-0. And again, the lone RBI there was a Roxy Vento first inning single. Gigi Braga, the shortstop, leads off. First pitch, she takes a strike from Molly St. Germain. Braga is 0 for 0 today, a sac bunt back in the first inning. 0-1 rises high, it's 1-1. 2-3-4 for the Beacons, Braga, Vento, and Raskowski. 4 hits over the first 2 innings for UMass Boston against Molly St. Germain. That's a ball. Braga watches it. It's 2-1. Neither of these pitchers walk many batters. Greenspan just 26 walks through 111 innings. St. Germain only 15 walks through 87 innings. Just hacked foul, count to 2-2. And if you're a position player on a chilly day like today, you love that. You love a pitcher that's going to keep you active, throw strikes, and not waste all that much time out there. Molly St. Germain delivers a 2-2, hacked foul. Braga fights it off. She'll see a 6th pitch of this at-bat. That slides low. Count runs full on Gigi Braga, who will see a 7th pitch of this at-bat, leading things off in the third. With 2 strikes, the third baseman, Shea Crosby, is backed up a bit. Shortstop Michaela Pacey and Kayla Votto both playing in a bit shallow against the slap hitter Braga. Braga slaps another one foul, picking it out of the mitt of the catcher Elwell. So she'll see an 8th pitch of this at-bat, wearing out Molly St. Germain at the start of the third. Good battle between these two, St. Germain and Braga. And it ends with a ball. 9-pitch walk for Gigi Braga. So Braga's a leadoff base runner, and she's a stolen base threat. She's stolen 7 bases in 8 tries this season. She's on it first as Roxy Vento steps to the plate. Vento singled home Ari Bellata back in the first for the game's only run. First pitch to Vento low, and Braga not going. Gigi Braga got a big jump over there at first base, but slammed on the brakes. Here comes the 1-0 to Roxy Vento. Down low, gets past the catcher Elwell, and Braga's into second on the wild pitch. So she's in scoring position. Another RBI opportunity for Vento, who knocked in her 21st run of the season back in the first. Vento hammers it past the third baseman and into left field. Braga had to hold just in case the third baseman Crosby squeezed it. It's a sharp single for Roxy Vento, who's 2 for 2. There are runners on the corners for UMass Boston and nobody out in the third. That'll send Kiera Fisk-Hennessy, the head coach for Keene State, to the mound where she will talk with her entire infield. Boy, 2 rockets from Roxy Vento, both of them down the left field line, both testing Shea Crosby. Natalie Ardango will use this as an opportunity to bring the 2 base runners, Braga and Vento, together with Razkowski and the on-deck batter Tully, figure out how they want to play this here. Way Jess Greenspan's pitching today. You only need another run or 2 of insurance to really start to feel comfortable. UMass Boston 3-3 in the conference, 16-7 overall. Keene State 12-9 overall, but 3-1 in the conference to lead the Little East. 1-0 UMass Boston. Gia Razkowski the batter. First pitch swinging, fair ball down the right field line. It's a base hit. Braga scores. Vento moves station to station. RBI single for Gia Razkowski. It's her 19th RBI of the season at 2-0 UMass Boston. And the inning continues. Alyssa Tully at the plate. Chance to break it open for UMass Boston here. Tully takes a called strike on the inside corner. The sophomore Tully is 0 for 1. She grounded out to third in her first at bat. Tully'd spent a couple of years playing soccer for UMass Boston. Bunts this at the third baseman. Crosby fields, long throw. Good pull over at second by Kayla Votto, who tap danced to touch the base. Score the sacrifice 5-4. It moves Vento to third and Razkowski to second with just 1 down. Infield will come in for Keene State, already trailing 2-0 against Caitlin Morse. See if Camo can drive one through the infield and score 2 more.
Number 7, Caitlin Camo Morse.
Morse grounded out on a bunt to second in her first at bat. Quick snap back to third, and the base runner Vento's ahead of Shea Crosby's tag. Morse did one of those really sneaky bunts where she took the bat behind her back, used her left hand to bat it down, but the second baseman Votto picked it up and threw to first. Morse takes low. So 2-0 count to Caitlin Morse. First base is open. Taylor Paulino waits on deck. 2-0 to Camo. That's a called strike on the outside corner. So now 2 balls and a strike. Braga already in. Vento on third. Razkowski on second. UMass Boston leads 2-0. This is fouled away. Count to 2-2. Remember, in the 3 official home games for UMass Boston coming into today, Beacons had just 5 total runs in 21 innings. Already scored 2 runs over the first 2 1/3 innings today. This is more like the Beacon offense you expect, averaging 6 runs a game this season. Pitch is high and inside to Morse, so the count is full with first base open. Payoff pitch. Morse takes a called strike 3. Home plate umpire Peter Musgulfian says it caught the inside corner. First strikeout for Molly St. Germain. So 2 away up to Taylor Paulino. Still first base is open. Vento on third. Razkowski on second as the Beacons look to break open a 2-run game. That's in off the knob of the bat of Paulina. Bad break for strike 1. Paulina singled in the second, shooting one up the middle. Paulina, sophomore out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. She takes high. Mentioned that the only state Keene State was missing from New England on its roster was Rhode Island, but the Ocean State is represented here with Paulina. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. That's up and away, 2-1. First base open if Paulina reaches. Lauren Mitsiaris is due up. Mitsiaris has 16 RBIs this season. 2-1. Paulina skies it left side of the infield, drifting to foul territory in the wind, and the third baseman Crosby's got it. Now the Beacons get one across but leave two in scoring position. So we head to the fourth. 2-0 UMass Boston on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Checking the Little East Conference scoreboard, Eastern Connecticut State with a 3-1 lead over UMass Dartmouth. Southern Maine leads Plymouth State 1-0. Western Connecticut State, who's tied with Keene State for first place, plays doubleheader starting at 5 o'clock today against Rhode Island College. Rhode Island College is winless so far this season in Little East play, so WestCon looking to take advantage. And if they can get some help from UMass Boston, they could pull ahead in solo first in the conference. UMass Boston leads first place Keene State 2-0 after 3. We move to the fourth. Jess Greenspan has faced just one more than the minimum, allowing 2 hits over the first 3 innings. She'll face 2, 3, and 4 in the Keene State order. Molly St. Germain, Jenny Galavati, and Olivia Indorf. St. Germain bunted out to the pitcher's mound back in the first inning. She's a 400 hitter this year. Takes a slider outside for ball 1. St. Germain hasn't walked anybody. She's only walked 26 as a freshman in 112 innings. Impressive control. Checking her wristband for the pitch signal. Here's the pitch. Line drive, center field and deep. That sends Paulina back, and it's over her head. St. Germain into second. She stops there. Leadoff double for Keene State starting pitcher Molly St. Germain. So now the Owls looking to jump onto the scoreboard. Bottom of the third could be a big swing moment in this game. Remember, UMass Boston had runners on second and third and just 1 out, but couldn't punch either runner across. So that kept it just a 2-run game. Here's the reigning hitter of the week in the conference, Jenny Galavati. Fouls the first pitch back off the catcher, Vento, for strike 1. Galavati, 6 home runs, 27 RBIs, and a .435 average this season. How's this for a week? Last week she was 10 for 14 in 5 games with 4 home runs and 13 RBIs. 0-1 to Galavati. Swing and a miss. She's over the top of the breaking ball. Good mix of speeds for Greenspan, who throws a hard fastball and complements it with a breaking pitch and a changeup. Now an 0-2. Rise ball way high, 1-2. Again, you see Greenspan check that wrench span. So the coaching staff calls that a number combination. Players look at their wristbands. And then Greenspan throws the pitch and earns a strike 3. Third strikeout for Jess Greenspan as she freezes Jenny Galavati. 1 down. St. Germain still on second. And Olivia Indorf bats. Indorf grounded out to the mound back in the second. Greenspan double checks the wristband and comes home. Changeup, nub foul. Really mixing pitches well at this point. She's throwing first pitch fastballs, first pitch breaking balls. Hard to predict if you're coming into the batter's box right now. Greenspan's 0-1. Fastball outside corner, and she's quickly up in the count 0-2. She has thrown 6 consecutive strikes. Now the 0-2 from freshman nursing major Jess Greenspan. Changeup hit back to her. She knocks it down, throws to first, and for the second time today, Indorf is retired 1-3. St. Germain advances to third.
batting number 6, Eliza.
So Keene State's first run of the game is 60 feet from home, but there are 2 away for Eliza Guerrero. Senior Guerrero popped out to the shortstop Braga in foul territory back in the second. First pitch from Greenspan, fastball down and away. One ball, no strike count to Guerrero. Played at Fairfield Ludlow High School, one of 2 public high schools in Fairfield, Connecticut. Pop up left field, medium depth, up in the wind, long run out in center, and Paulina pulls it in front of left fielder Kiera Prusmack. Paulina holds on as both were running full bore to the gap, and that puts the 4th inning to bed. Greenspan gets 3 in a row after the leadoff double to strand Molly St. Germain in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Beacons. Bottom of the 4th in Boston. UMass Boston leads game 1 of a doubleheader with rival Keene State. 1-0. Keene State leads this series 37-3, but the Beacons have turned things around lately, including a win last year in the Little East Conference semifinals. Now UMass Boston looking to string together 2 consecutive wins against Keene State. If the Beacons were to sweep the doubleheader today, they would now be tied with Keene State in the conference standings, likely in 2nd place at the end of the night. You'd figure Western Connecticut State will get at least 1 out of 2 against last place Rhode Island College. 8-9-1 in the order for UMass Boston, with Lauren Mitsiaris leading things off against Molly St. Germain. Mitsiaris takes a called strike. UMass Boston has strung together 6 hits over 3 innings. 2-0 lead for the Beacons, and it could be more. Beacons have left 3 runners in scoring position today. Mitsiaris fouls this one back, counts quickly 0-2. One thing you have to say about these 2 pitchers, they don't hurt themselves. Only 1 combined walk so far. St. Germain walked Braga on a 9-pitch at bat to lead off the 3rd, and Braga came around to score. Mitsiaris grounds it back to St. Germain. Easy 1-3 putout. There's 1 down. Now, you've heard of speed golf before, where you run up, you hit your ball as quickly as possible, and you keep on going. So far today, these 2 pitchers are pitching like we're playing speedball. They are not wasting any time at all. They're throwing a ton of strikes, and they're cruising through a 2-0 game here in the bottom of the 4th. Here, Prusmack bunts at this one, and it skips foul to the left. No ball, 1 strike count to Prusmack. She's a freshman from Houston, Texas. 3-year all-district selection, and if you're all-district in Texas, you know you're doing something right. Exercise science and health science double major with a minor in theater art here at UMass Boston. 0-1 to Prusmack. Swings through a rise ball, count is 0-2. Can be tough when you're a slap hitter. The ball kind of changes planes on you as you move up in the batter's box, and especially a rise ball looks like it's jumping on you. No ball, 2 strike count. Prusmack bloops it over 3rd, slicing. It's foul just to the left of the bag. That was almost perfect for Kiera Prusmack. Count will stay at 0-2 as she'll see a 4th pitch of this at-bat. Leadoff batter Ari Bellata waiting on deck. Can't say you see all that many Texans in the Little East Conference. Prusmack lines this one off the glove of the second baseman Vento and into right for a base hit. She poked it hard off the tip of the glove of Vento, so it's a single for Kiera Prusmack, hitting with 2 strikes. You know, one of those Vento would say, hey, could have caught, but when it's hit that hard and you're reaching off to your left, just like the ball that was hit off Shea Crosby back in the 3rd inning by Vento, you give the benefit of the doubt to the hitter there.
Now
7th hit today for the Beacons. One away, Prusmack on, and she's a stolen base threat as Ari Bellata bats. Prusmack running, pitch high, throw to second. Gets off the glove of the shortstop, Pacey, and into center field. So Prusmack swipes the bag. If that had been snagged out there by Pacey, they may have had Prusmack. Instead, she's in scoring position with her 8th stolen base this season on 9 tries. 1 ball, no strike count. 1-0, fouled off the fists. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Bellata, who's 1 for 2 today. She singled and scored in the first. She popped out with 2 on and 2 out in the second behind home plate to the catcher, Elwell. Here's a 1-1. Fisted foul right of first, and the count's 1-2. So now it's 1-2. Gigi Braga on deck as Ari Bellata bats. 2-0 Beacons, bottom 4. Popped up, left side of the infield. Shortstop Pacey wants it, and Michaela Pacey makes the snag for out number 2. Leaves Prusmack still on second. Beacons trying to avoid leaving their 5th runner in scoring position over the first 4 innings.
Now batting number 3,
Gigi Braga 0 for 0 today. A sac bunt in the first. A 9-pitch walk to lead off the third. She came around to score. She takes a high fastball here for ball 1. Braga, a freshman, and she often works as part of the production crew on our Beacons Broadcast Network broadcast throughout the course of the season. On 1-0, chops it right to third. That's easy for Crosby. Her throw across in time to beat Braga by a step. And that's it for the 4th inning. Beacons do not score, and they've left now 5 in scoring position. Still, the Beacons lead 2-0 after 4 on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Up next for the Beacons, Salem State, here at home on Thursday, 3 p.m. start. Have it for you on the Beacons Broadcast Network. And back to conference play for Rhode Island College and Southern Maine, both on the road over the next couple of weeks here. Down to the witching hours at this point in conference play, mostly conference games the rest of the way, determining who will win the regular season championship and who will host the Little East Conference softball tournament. We move to the 5th. It's 2-0 UMass Boston over first place Keene State. Beacon scored 1 in the first and 1 in the third. Keene State has just 3 hits over 4 innings against Beacon right-hander Jess Greenspan, who has struck out 3 and hasn't walked anybody. First pitch to Brittany DeMota is a strike. Only 50 pitches so far for Jess Greenspan to get through 4 innings of work. And again, that's important because lately she's been pitching both legs of a doubleheader. Pitch outside for a ball. Look at Saturday when she threw 13 innings out of the 14 innings the Beacons played against UMass Dartmouth. So you want to manage that pitch count. On 1-1, Greenspan misses outside for a ball. Count scatters to 2-1 against DeMoto. DeMota struck out swinging back in the second, the first of 3 strikeouts for Greenspan. Lines this one right field, hanging up. Raskowski's got it. Well struck by Brittany DeMota. Hardest hit ball outside of the St. Germain double for the Owls so far today, but it's just allowed out number 1.
Now batting number 20, Shay Crosby.
Moves us to Shay Crosby, the third baseman, batting for the second time today. She's 0 for 1. tried to bunt for a hit back in the third, but pushed it right back to the pitcher, Jess Greenspan. There's a first pitch strike right at the knees. That fly ball from DeMoto was only the third ball to leave the infield today for Keene State, but 3 of the last 5 batters have hit balls that have left the infield. So maybe second time through the order, they're starting to size Greenspan up at least a little bit. Still, she's scattered only the 3 hits over 4 1/3 innings. 1-1 to DeMoto. Swing and a miss. Greenspan took something off that one, and DeMoto is out in front. Ball and 2-strike count for the freshman Greenspan. 3-time all-conference player pitching in Connecticut. Here's her 1-2. Rise ball, and Crosby laid off. It's such a tough pitch to take because starts in the strike zone. As it rises, it gets up at your eye level where it looks so tantalizing. 2-2. Fisted up behind home plate and out of play. So the count will stay at 2-2, and Shea Crosby will see her 6th pitch of this at-bat. Two-two. Drop ball low. He'll peel down to first, and base umpire Susanna Dorley says no. So counts full. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming here to Shea Crosby from Jess Greenspan. Fastball grounded hard to short. The shortstop Braga Fields. High throw is in time for the out. Up top to Lauren Mitsiaris, who just reached over her head to snag it 2 away. 5 in a row retired for Greenspan after the sharp double from Molly St. Germain. Kristen Boduk will bat with 2 down. Boduk notched the first hit of the day for Keene State. It was a bunt single with 1 out in the third. Greenspan looking for her third 1-2-3 inning of this game. She throws a first pitch strike to Boduk. Boduk, a sophomore from Dover, New Hampshire. She was a high school teammate of the pitcher, St. Germain. Pitch misses just low for a ball, so now the count's 1-1. Two 2-0 Beacons, game 1 of a doubleheader. Pitch from Greenspan drops low, and it's 2-1. Allison Tully in at third, expecting that bunt. Infield playing rather shallow against the slap hitter Boduk. 265 hitter this season. 2-1. Hacked at. Referee calling it a fair ball as it's flipped over to first in time for the out, but now they'll appeal and rule it a foul ball. All right, so off the foot of Boduk, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Umpires let that one play out for a bit, but bring it all back. 2 ball, 2 strike count with 2 away. Was off the foot of Boduk, so it seems like the correct call at the end. 2-2. Looper, foul, and the count stays at 2-2. Wind still blowing out toward left field. Keene State, a team that can slug some home runs. They have 9 this season, but haven't gotten much up in the air yet today. Sixth pitch of the at-bat is low, so 7 and 8 in the order. Crosby and Boduk doing a good job seeing pitches. This will be pitch number 8 to Kristen Boduk. Greenspan, windmills, throws, grounded right back to her. She has had 5 opportunities to field her position, and she's been successful every time. A 1-2-3 top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of inning number 5. Beacons 2, Owls nothing. We move to the bottom of inning number 5 here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. 2-0 UMass Boston leads Keene State. 3, 4, 5 in the order for the Beacons. Roxy, Vento, Kiera, and Alyssa Tully. UMass Boston has 2 runs on 7 hits over 4 innings. They have stranded 5 runners in scoring position as Molly St. Germain's been able to pitch herself out of trouble throughout the course of the game. St. Germain stays on the mound. She has completed every game she's started this year. 10 starts, 10 complete games. There was a first pitch strike to Roxy Vento. Vento's 2 for 2 today. 2 sharp singles down the left field line, including an RBI single to open the scoring in the first. 0-1 to Vento, fisted away and foul. Count moves to 0-2. Now with the 2 hits today, Vento's batting average has moved up to .450 on the season. As she continues to pad her resume for a possible Little East Conference Player of the Year award. Here comes an 0-2 to Vento. Down and away for a ball. Just 1 strikeout today for Molly St. Germain, but she's only walked 1 as well. In fact, the 2 pitchers have combined for just that 1 walk. They've been very economical. St. Germain's drop ball is low. It's 2-2. Here's a 2-2. Ground ball slowly hit to second. Kayla Vados vacuums it up and fires for out number 1. So Vento's retired for the first time today. Brings up Gia Raskowski. RBI single for Gia Raskowski down the right field line in her 3rd inning at bat. She drove home Gigi Braga. Raskowski's 1 for 2 today and is now 2nd on the Beacons with 19 RBIs. Fist this one foul past the third base coach, Josh Bartley. No ball, 1 strike count on Raskowski. Three home runs for Raskowski this season. She leads UMass Boston with those 3 dingers. 5 other Beacons have hit 1 home run this year. 0-1. Rise ball is high. Oftentimes the wind blows in here, so today is a day for home runs at a park that is not easy to hit the ball out at. Wind blowing out to left field. 1-1 to Raskowski, nubs it on the ground, back to the mound. St. Germain smothers it, throws, and it's in time. Good stretch by Olivia Indorf to make sure she picked that one up off the dirt. 2 away, 2 up, 2 down. Alyssa Tully will bat. Tully takes a drop ball low for ball 1. Tully grounded out in the first. She sacrificed bunted in the 3rd. (1-0) up and away for a ball. It's quickly 2-0. And there's no easy spot in this Beacon order. 8 of the 9 in the lineup are batting over 300 this season. Tully grounds it to short. There's Pacey, her throw, perfect. 3 quick groundouts. Molly St. Germain does yeoman's work in the 5th to send Keene State back to the bat racks. We head to the 6th, UMass Boston 2, Keene State nothing. Jess Greenspan back to work for UMass Boston. Let's take a look around Beaconville as we head to the 6th here in Boston. Men's tennis in action right now against Johnson & Wales. Southern Maine still holding a pesky lead over UMass Boston in the 6th. Lacrosse will play UMass Dartmouth in conference action tomorrow. Boy, what a day for Jess Greenspan. She's pitched through 5 innings, given up just 3 hits. She has struck out 3. She hasn't walked anybody. She's the reigning Little East Conference Pitcher of the Week, so she's trying to continue that reign for maybe a second consecutive week. 9-1-2 in the order, and Michaela Pacey swings over the top of a drop ball for strike one. Pacey struck out swinging in the third, one of 3 Greenspan strikeouts today. And again, Greenspan hasn't walked anybody. 0-1, drop ball, check swing, and Pacey went around. Quickly 0-2 as she's twice been fooled. Well, so now if you're Pacey, you got to wonder what's coming. You've seen 2 drop balls in a row. Does Greenspan go to something hard here, or does she come back with a third straight drop? 0-2, changeup, just missed the outside corner as she nearly picked up strikeout number 4. Ball and 2 strike count now. Here comes the 1-2 from Greenspan. Fastball, called strike 3. She froze Pacey for her 4th strikeout today. What a sequence there. Called by Josh Bartley in the dugout. A couple of drop balls, coming back with hard stuff to flummox Pacey. 1 down in the 6th. Kayla Votto's the batter. Votto is singled and popped out today. Lines this one hard, but foul as she was out in front of it. At this point, Keene State has gone more than 12 innings without a run against UMass Boston. Remember, Beacon shut them out 1-0 in the Little East Conference semifinals last year. That game, it was Annie Thomas pitching for UMass Boston. She's working her way back from an injury and is available to pitch if needed today. 0-1 from Greenspan. Missed the plate away. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Kayla Votto, the leadoff batter for Keene State. Votto, a .394 hitter, 3rd on the team with that average. Outside corner fastball, good spot from Votto for strike 2. Jess Greenspan just seems like she's getting stronger and stronger in the circle. Here comes her 1-2 pitch. Rise ball popped up towards short, long run for Braga, overhead. It's a bloop single for Kayla Votto. Yeah, that was a good pitch from Greenspan, but Votto found the hole in front of Prusmack and behind Braga. 1 away, the speedy Votto aboard. And here's Molly St. Germain, who doubled to center field in her last at bat. Natalia Ardanga coming out. And bringing the trainer with her. Looked like Taylor Paulina came up a little bit lame as she was taking a step originally toward that ball. So training staff going to check on Paulina. Sophomore center fielder out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Field umpire Susanna Dorley is out there as well, and Paulina will limp off the field. So there'll be a defensive replacement for UMass Boston. Paulina has to leave the game with some type of injury. We'll see if she's able to recover and be back for game number 2. Giovanna Bonilla will head out to center field for UMass Boston, taking Paulina's spot. Bonilla, a freshman from Queens, New York, out of Archbishop Malloy, takes over in the 8th spot in the order, and she'll be due up second next inning.
Defensive changes for UMass Boston. Now it's the game in center field. Number 5, Giovanna Bonilla.
So Bonilla heads into center. They give her a couple of tosses to loosen up her arm, and now she's set. And now Jess Greenspan, after that bloop single for Votto, has to lock back in. Molly St. Germain, the 2-hole hitter, a .400 batter this season for Keene State, doubled the deep center field back in the 4th. She was stranded on 3rd. She is still the only runner to advance to scoring position for Keene State today. 2-0 Beacons, top 6. Breaking ball low from Greenspan. Greenspan wants a new baseball. 4 hits for Keene State over 5 1/3 innings. Jess Greenspan has not walked anybody. 1-0. Runner going. Bunts missed. Throw from Vento. Not in time. It's a stolen base for Kayla Votto with a great slide to the back corner of the base. 1 ball, 1 strike count, 1 away, and a runner in scoring position for Keene State with Molly St. Germain at the dish. Here comes the 1-1. Foul tipped into the mitt. Count is 1-2. Jessica Lavati, the reigning Little East Conference Batter of the Week, waits on deck, but she's 0 for 2 today against Greenspan. Now the 1-2 pitch. Slides outside, 2-2. Breaking stuff there from Greenspan to level the count with 1 away. There's 5 outs left for Keene State, trailing by 2 runs. They try to chip away here in the 6th. Here's a 2-2. Rise ball high, counts full. First base open, but you don't want to put the tying run aboard, especially with a slugging power hitter, Jenny Calavati. 6 home runs to her name this season waiting on deck. Three-two. Line drive up the middle. It's a base hit. Votto rounds third. She's on her way home. Bonilla throws to second. It's an RBI single for Molly St. Germain. Keene State's on the board for the first time in more than 12 innings against UMass Boston. 2-1 in the top of the 6th.
Now batting number 19, Jenny Galavati.
So it's still just 1 away. Jenny Galavati bats. 3rd time through the order for Keene State. Galavati has popped up and struck out today. 4 home runs over her last 6 games. She takes a fastball low for ball 1. 13 RBIs during that span as well. One 0 off speed. That's a strike. Runner's picked off, but takes second. St. Germain just took off running as the throw from Vento went to first. That's a stolen base for Molly St. Germain. So now the tying run's in scoring position with just 1 away. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Galavati. That's off the plate away. It's 2-1. First base open. Olivia Indorf on deck. Two-one pitch to Galavati. Change-up, caught on and missed. Count moves to 2-2 with 1 away. First time Jess Greenspan's been touched up for back-to-back hits all day. Here she comes on 2-2. Off speed, misses wide, count runs full. First base open, 3-2 count, 1 down, top 6. Keene State first in the conference, UMass Boston third in the conference. The Beacons clinging to a 1-run lead. Here's the payoff delivery. Called strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Greenspan. It's her 2nd strikeout of one of the league's top hitters, Galavati.
Now batting number 22, Olivia.
2 down, it's up to Olivia Indorf. This is likely the best chance for Keene State in the middle of their order here. Looking at the bottom of their order in the 7th. Fastball high and outside for ball 1. Indorf has twice grounded back to the pitcher, Greenspan, today, once weakly and once sharply. One 0 on the way. That's a strike on the outside corner. Good spot from Greenspan. Freshman from Rocky Hill is battling here. 1-1. Drop ball. Popped up. Shallow right field. Long run. Raskowski dives and bobbles it in front of her. Down for a base hit. St. Germain scores. We're tied. RBI single for Olivia Indorf as she drops it in front of Raskowski. Oh, a tough break for Greenspan. 2 bloop singles in this inning have come back to bite her. 2-2 scoreline, top 6. Eliza Guerrero bats in a brand new game. There's a first pitch strike on the outside corner. Now, how big does that stolen base loom for St. Germain, who took second after a pickoff throw to first, had her caught off balance. Guerrero takes the rise ball high. Runner on first, 2 down, but Olivia Indorf has tied the game, driving home Keene State's second run of the inning in the top of the 6th. That's up and high. Just Greenspan trying to dive right back into this one. Behind in the count to Guerrero. Ground ball on 2-1. Hit right back to first. Mitsiaris flips to first. Not in time. Ruled safe on a bang-bang play. And it does look like Susanna Dorley is going to come talk to Peter Muscofian. Close play, currently ruled an infield single. And that call will stand. Indorf to second, Guerrero on first with 2 down, and now the go-ahead runs in scoring position. Talia Ardango will come out and speak with Suzanne Dorley. So 4 hits this inning for Keene State. 3 of them have not been hit with very much mustard at all, but sometimes it's not how hard, it's where you put it. Coach Ardanga checking with the home plate umpire Peter Muscofian as well, and the call will stand. So 2 down, and Brittany DeMota bats. DeMota has struck out and lined out so far today. She can give Keene State the lead here in the 6th.
Batting number 3, Brittany DeMota.
Now, after the bats were kept so quiet through the first 5, Keene State's finally woken up. Team that averages about 5.5 runs a game. First pitch, high and outside for ball 1 to DeMota. She is the 7th Owl to hit this inning. Pops it up, right side, now to play. Foul ball brings it to 1-1. Keene State's won 5 of its last 6 games, including a sweep against Rhode Island College recently, as there's a good pitch from Greenspan to bring the count to 1-2. The Owls looking for one of their biggest conference wins so far this season. Drop ball goes low, and the count runs to 2-2. Meanwhile, the Beacons looking to bring it back to 4-3 in conference play. That was the 100th pitch of this game for Jess Greenspan. Drop ball's fouled back. Remember, she was only at 50 pitches midway through that 5th inning, so she's had to throw a lot more over the last couple frames. And again, Greenspan's often pitched in both games of a doubleheader for the Beacons, so 100 pitches and maybe 100 more to go today. Jess Greenspan trying to put Brittany DeMota away. 2-2. Off the plate, it's 3-2. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming. Indorf and Guerrero will get head starts with a full count and 2 down. Payoff pitch. That's a called ball 4. First walk today for Greenspan. Inning continues. Bases loaded. Shea Crosby is the batter. Boy, tough inning for Greenspan. She has not given up many hard hit balls. Got a couple of bloopers, the infield single on a bang-bang play, and now a close ball 4 for an 8-pitch walk. Bases loaded for Keene State as they look to take the lead. Shea Crosby grounded to short in her last at-bat and takes a called strike 1 on the inside corner. Crosby is 0 for 2, tried to bunt back in the third. Bunted it right back to the pitcher, Greenspan. 0-1, ground ball towards short. Greenspan dives to cut it off and goes the short way home for the third out of the inning. It's a fielder's choice, scored 1-2, and the Beacons escape with the bases loaded. But Keene State knots things up with a couple of runs. It's 2-2, heading to the bottom of the 6th. All of a sudden, Molly St. Germain and Keene State are back on level footing, 2-2 after a 2-run top of the 6th. UMass Boston will send 6, 7, 8 in the order. Caitlin Morse, Giovanna Bonilla, and Lauren Mitsiaris to the plate. It'll be Bonilla's first at bat of the day as she came in as a defensive replacement for the injured Taylor Paulina. Morse, who leads this off, is 0 for 2 today, a ground out and a strikeout looking. Beacons trying to reclaim the lead here in the 6th. They scored 1 run in the first, 1 in the third. Both Keene State runs coming here in the top of inning 6. Only an hour and 15 minutes deep into this game as we play the bottom of the 6th inning. Game 1 of 2 on a chilly day in Boston, and it's only going to get colder as the day goes on. Temperature in the mid-40s. If this isn't New England spring, I don't know what is. We dropped about 35 degrees in a matter of 24 hours. So here's KMO, Caitlin Morse, the senior captain of the Beacons. Takes high and outside for ball 1. Going to ground out to second and a strikeout looking for Morse. Strikeout on a close pitch inside. 1-0. Hit hard into the Keene State dugout, and the count moves to 1-1 on Morse. And that ground out to second, back in the second, was a bang-bang play on a bunt. She dragged it past the pitcher circle. That's almost always a hit for Morse. But Kayla Votto was ready for it at second. Made a tremendous play. Rise ball's high. 2-1 to Morse. Showed no sign of bunting here in this at-bat. Sitting back and swinging away from the left-hand side. Morse watches it in tight. Count comes to 3-1. She's a speed threat if she can reach as the go-ahead run here in the 6th. Can be very picky here in a 3-1 count. St. Germain deals, and Morse swings through it. So the count runs full. Healthy hack from Morse there. Here's the payoff pitch. Ground ball right to third. That's fair for Crosby. Throw on the money. And a 6-pitch at bat ends with a 5-3 putout. 1 down. And we'll see Giovanna Bonilla hit in that 7 spot for the Beacons. Bonilla's first at bat of the day. This season, Bonilla is 2 for 24. That's an .083 average. Playing in her 16th game, she takes strike 1. And Bonilla, a freshman from Queens, New York, entered last inning for an injured Taylor Paulina. St. Germain comes home, ball right back to her, and she fields it. 2 away. St. Germain is cruising. She's retired the last 7 she's faced. Now Lauren Mitsiaris 0 for 2 on the day with a fielder's choice and a ground out back to the pitching mound. Just got to start something with 2, otherwise we head to the 7th all square. Mitsiaris fouls one back for strike 1. Mitsiaris, the senior, 1 home run, 16 RBIs this year. This one foul as well, and quickly she's down on the count 0-2 on back-to-back foul balls. 2 runs in the top of this inning for Keene State to tie the game at 2 at the bottom of the 6th. Here comes it, 0-2, popped up, foul again, and for the 3rd time it's over the backstop. See if Mitsiaris can tomahawk one of these elevated pitches. Another 0-2. That missed low. Ball and 2 strikes. One, 2. Ground ball hit to short. Pacey's got it. Her throw is in time. Michaela Pacey, well tested out there. Both defenses have been solid. No errors going either way as we head to the 7th. All square, UMass Boston and Keene State on the Beacons Broadcast Network. We move to inning number 7 on the Beacons Broadcast Network. All square, 2-2 as we play the top of the 7th. Keene State scored 2 runs in the top of the 6th to tie this game. And now they'll send Kristen Boduck, the 8-hole hitter, to bat to lead things off. Boduck was the only Owl who did not reach or bat in the 6th inning. They sent 8 to the plate. She was the 9th, so she'll hit here to lead things off in the 7th, working on a 1-for-2 day. Takes low for a ball. She grounded out to the mound back in the 5th. She reached on a bunt single back in the 3rd. Jess Greenspan still on the mound, has scattered 7 hits and the 2 earned runs over 6 innings. Bunted in front of the plate. Third baseman. Throw is in time. Alyssa Tully with a BB to get the speedy Boduck, and there's 1 away. Boy, that's a play that is so tough. There's so little margin for error, and Tully did it perfectly against the speedy Boduck. Sends Michaela Pacey to the plate. The shortstop Pacey is 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts. Last at bat, it was a couple drop balls early and the fastball late to set Pacey down. Here, Greenspan starts with a fastball for ball 1. Scheduled for 7 here in game 1 of a doubleheader. But tied 2-2 in the 7th. Pacey grounds it to 3rd. Tully stabs it, throws, and gets Pacey by a half a step. Well, it's Alyssa Tully's show here in the top of the 7th. There's 2 away. Turns the lineup over to the leadoff batter, Kayla Votto. Votto's 2 for 3, 2 singles, and a pop-out. Her 1-out single in the 6th started a 2-run rally for Keene State as she scored the first run. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th, it's Kiera Prusmack and then Ari Bellata and Gigi Braga. 9-1-2 for the Beacons in the bottom of the frame. After a first pitch strike, Jess Greenspan checks her wristband And now the pitch. Foul back toward the Keene State dugout. 0-2. Boy, that seemed to defy the law of physics. That was foul in a way that it went past her back right foot and into the Keene State dugout that's directly behind the batter Vento here. 0-2. Slides off the plate away. Remember, Vento singled with 2 strikes in her last at bat. Also had 2 strikes before she singled in the 3rd inning. Now 1-2. Change up way high. It's 2-2. Freshman Jess Greenspan versus senior Kayla Vento. Greenspan's pitch just misses. Catcher Roxanne Vento tried to frame it on the outside corner. Count stays full. Here comes the payoff. Line foul hard. That was smoked by Vento, who will see a 7th pitch of this at-bat. Greenspan into triple figures, pitches thrown. Went over the century mark in her last inning, and she's thrown 114 for the game now. 3-2. Line drive, right field, going back over Raskowski's head. Vento to second. She's still running on her way to 3rd, and she'll stop there. It's a triple with 2 down for Kayla Vento, who battles back from 0-2 down to rope the 3-bagger. So the go-ahead run is 60 feet from home. And here's Molly St. Germain, who's 2 for 3 today. St. Germain was retired 1-4 when she bunted in the 1st, but she doubled in the 4th and singled in the 6th. Loops this one right side. That's falling and down for a base hit. Vento scores. RBI single, Molly St. Germain. Keene State leads 3-2. A blast followed by a bloop. St. Germain picks up her 10th RBI of the season, and now she's put herself in line for the win inside the circle. Well, that's a 9th hit of the day for Keene State, but Jess Greenspan's pitched better than that. She deserves a better outcome than she's had. Number of bloops and infield singles for the Owls. With 2 down, Jenny Galavati bats. She's the reigning batter of the week in the conference, but she has struggled against Greenspan. First pitch strike to Galavati. 10 for 14 last weekend. She is 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. Greenspan deals the 0-1 off the plate away. All with 2 outs here in this inning for Keene State. 2-out triple for Vento. And a 2-out single to score by St. Germain. Now here comes a 1-1. Flared foul. Ball in 2 strikes to Galavati. Here comes the 1-2. Way up and away. Runner going and now caught in between. Throw from Vento. In time. They got her. Molly St. Germain caught stealing as she was picked off for a 2nd time. Last time she'd beaten it out. This time she's nanked off the bases. Still, Keene State scores. A triple from Kayla Vento and an RBI single from Molly St. Germain. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Beacons need 1 to tie and 2 to win. Taking a look around the Little East Conference scoreboard, UMass Dartmouth has come back to tie Eastern Connecticut State 3-3 in the 5th. How about Plymouth State and Southern Maine? They're in extra innings, tied at 1 in the 8th. Western Connecticut State, who enters today tied with Keene State for first in the conference, will play Rhode Island College starting in only about 2 minutes. It's now 4:58. That's a 5 o'clock first pitch down in Rhode Island. Well, UMass Boston was leading 2-0 until the 6th. Now the Beacons trail 3-2. Molly St. Germain has retired 8 in a row inside the circle. Oh, yeah, and she also added the RBI go-ahead single to boot in the top of the 7th. So she's looking for the all-around win, and she'll face 9-1-2 in the Beacon order. Kiera, Prusmack, Ari Bellata, and Gigi Braga. Prusmack's 2 for 2 today. Bellata is 1 for 3 with a run, and Braga is 0 for 1 but with a run scored. So these three have all contributed so far. St. Germain has finished every game she's started this season. She's 9-4, 1.72 ERA. She surrendered a run in the first and a run in the third, but hasn't been touched up since. 7 hits today for UMass Boston, but only 1 since the third. Prusmack slaps it to short. Long throw. Not in time. Pacey got it away quickly, but Prusmack beats it out. An infield single, her third hit of the day, and the tying run's on. Now that moves it to Ari Bellata. And now the question is, do you go small ball and look for the tie, or do you look for a big inning here with Bellata, who's 1 for 3 today and hitting at .333 on the season? Bellata bunting, and she wraps it foul. So I guess the answer right now, at least through pitch 1, is small ball. So Prusmack had broken up an 8-batter in a row retired streak from St. Germain. She's the tying run over at first, bottom 7, 3-2 lead for Keene State. Bellata bunting, gets it down, pushes it back. St. Germain's throw gets Bellata. Prusmack, the tying run, moves to second. Successful sacrifice, scored 1-4. And now slap hitter Gigi Braga will look to reach. Then it's Roxy Vento and Gia Raskowski for the Beacons.
Now batting number 3, Gigi Braga.
Braga sack bunted in the first, walked and scored in the third, and grounded out to third in the fourth. She takes ball 1 here. She's had good at-bats. That walk was a 9-pitch at-bat in the third inning. Pitch to the freshman Braga is low for a ball. It's 2-0. Gigi out of Medford, Massachusetts, and Medford High School. So disciplined. And 2-0 to Braga. That's a strike poured right down the middle. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 delivery to Braga. Lined into the Keene State dugout, and it's 2-2. 1 away, bottom 7. Beacons down a run, 3-2. Another 2-2 from St. Germain. Fouled away. Braga fights it off. So she's battling again. She'll see a 6th pitch of this at-bat. Still count is 2-2. Delivery from St. Germain. Off the plate away, counts full. So that's another one of those battling at-bats for Braga, who represents the winning run. She'll see a 7th pitch of this outing. It's on the way. And it's high ball 4. Braga walks for the second time. The winning run's aboard for Roxanne Vento, the leading hitter for the Beacons. Roxy's 2 for 3 today. 2 singles and an RBI. Single here could tie the game. A ball in the gap could win it for UMass Boston.
Number 9, Roxanne Vento.
Pitch to Vento in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher Elwell. And everybody moves up. Braga to second. Prusmack to third. The rule of a pass ball, The winning run is only 2 bases from home. The tying run on third, as the infield will come together for Keene State. So that's ruled a pass ball on Elwell. Vento at the dish, a 1-0 count. First base open. You wonder here if you walk Vento, set up the force play with 1 down. Of course, that would set things up for Gia Razkowski, senior cleanup hitter for the Beacons. One 1-0 to Vento in the dirt. Snap back to third. Very close, but not in time. Almost picked up Prusmack there on another ball in the dirt. 2 ball and no strike count. That was the 100th pitch of the day for St. Germain. 101. Line through the hole. Off the glove of Pacey. It's a base hit, and the game is tied. Prusmack scores. Vento has her 3rd hit and 2nd RBI of the game. And the winning run, Gigi Braga, is on third base. So now Gia Razkowski trying to walk it off for the Beacons in a 3-3 game. Pinch runner is Kayla Harris taking over. So Harris goes in for Vento here in the bottom of the 7th. Her run important only if Braga somehow is erased from the base paths. Right now, Gigi Braga on third is the winning run. Keene State has to bring the infield in here. So Razkowski will look to just shoot it through the infield or hit a sacrifice fly. Today, Gia is 1 for 3, an RBI single in the 3rd to go along with a ground out in the 1st and a ground out in the 5th.
Number 10, Kayla Harris. At the plate for the Beacons, number 16, Gia Razkowski.
Razkowski, first pitch swinging, ropes it foul. Saw that high pitch and knew it was something she could get in the air to the outfield to drive home the speedy Braga with a sac fly. Here comes the 0-1. Runner going. They'll just bluff the throw with Elwell. So the pinch runner Harris on to second base with the steal. So that takes away the force. Look like Cara Fisk-Hennessy may have been asking if the runner Harris left early. Umpires say no. 1 ball, 1 strike count with 1 out. Infield is in. They'll have to come home with it with no forces available. 1-1 to Razkowski. Grounded foul. It's 1-2. Alyssa Tully is on deck for the Beacons. Senior Gia Razkowski looking for one of her biggest hits of the season would move the Beacons to just 1 game back of Keene State in the conference standings. Popped up foul. In fact, we moved the Beacons only a half a game out behind Keene State in the standings, as Keene State 3-1, Beacons 3-3 in the conference. This is hit hard and foul. So a good battle by Razkowski. She'll see a 6th pitch of this at bat. Still 1-2. Winning run on third. That's Gigi Braga. Kayla Harris on second if need be. 1-2. Ground ball slowly hit to third. The third baseman Crosby throws across in time, and everybody stays put. So Razkowski grounds out, and it all comes down to Alyssa Tully here with 2 down. Tully has grounded out twice and sack bunted today. Sophomore from Lowell. First pitch drills it foul. Gigi Braga doing the limbo to just get underneath that one. Boy, that was just crushed. by Tully, but foul. Molly St. Germain's 0-1. Ground ball right back to her. She fields, throws, and will go to extras. Beacons get the winning run to third, but cannot score on back-to-back groundouts. We go to inning number 8 on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Roxy Vento re-enters at catcher for UMass Boston as we head to the 8th inning. Beacons led 2-0 until the 6th. Keene State tied it at 2. Keene State took a 3-2 lead in the 7th. Beacons tied it in the bottom of the frame but left 2 in scoring position with only 1 out. UMass Boston has left 7 in scoring position today. So we'll play extra innings here. Jenny Galavati, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, digs in for Keene State. It's 3-4-5 in the order for the Owls. Galavati, the reigning offensive player of the week in the conference, takes ball 1. She was at the plate when Molly St. Germain was caught stealing to end the 7th. Jess Greenspan in her 8th inning of work has given up 3 runs on 1 walk and 9 hits. Breaking ball is low. It's 1-1. Of those 9 hits, you'd say maybe 3 to 4 were of the hard hit variety. She's pitched very well today. 2-0. Hit hard, left field, pretty deep. Long run in left center, and it's pulled in. Kiera Prusmack gets there. Prusmack in the gap next to Bonilla puts it away. 1 down. Well done by Kiera Prusmack out in left, and with 1 out, Olivia Indorf will bat. Indorf is 1 for 3. Her RBI single drove home the 2nd run of inning 6 for Keene State. She's twice grounded the pitcher as well. 1 ball, no strike count. Here comes the 1-0 from Greenspan. That's a strike. On the inside corner, counts 1-1. Greenspan dealing off the plate with a breaking ball. It's 2-1. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th for the Beacons. 6, 7, 8 Morse, Bonilla, and Mitsiaris due up. Here comes a 2-1. Grounded right into the screen. It's 2-2. Count holds it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down, top 8. 2 of the better teams in the conference picked 1 and 2 in the preseason poll and battling it out close here. Now a 2-2. Rises high and in. Count runs full. Jess Greenspan looking to avoid what would only be her 2nd walk of the day. She comes home and misses inside. So that's walk number 2 for Greenspan. She's right on her season pace, a walk about every 4 innings. Go-ahead run. Aidendorf is on as Eliza Guerrero will bat. Guerrero reached on an infield single in the 6th. She was stranded on 2nd. Pinch runner for Keene State is Joellen Horacio.
Keene State at first base, number 00, Joellen Racio. Thank you.
So runner on first, one down. Batter is Eliza Guerrero. Pitch from Greenspan. Just missed the inside corner for ball one. Wind still blowing out toward left field. 3-3 game. Greenspan, the freshman, really pitching her guts out. She's thrown almost 130 pitches in this first game. Missed outside there. 2-ball, no strike count. 3-3 game. Runner on first after the walk. Here comes the 2-0. Popped up, foul territory, long run at third until he can't get there. 2 balls and a strike. So 1 down here in this 8th inning. Keene State has scored 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. After the Beacons scored 1 in the bottom of the 7th to send it to extras. We're here in the 8th. This is popped up, center field. Playable for Bonilla. There's 2 away. First chance for Giovanna Bonilla today. 2 down. Brittany DeMota bats. DeMota 0 for 2. She's walked, she has lined out, and she has struck out.
Now batting, number 3, Brittany DeMota.
DeMota entered today a .229 batter. She has played in every game for Keene State this season, one of just 3 players. Ground ball slowly hit to short. Braga's there, steps into her throw, and it's on the money. A perfect strike. Jess Greenspan works around a 1-out walk. Beacons have a chance to win it, heading to the bottom of the 8th in a 3-3 game. We go to the bottom of the 8th. UMass Boston tied at 3-3 with Keene State in the first of 2 today here in Boston. 6, 7, 8 for the Beacons. Captain Caitlin Morse and Giovanna Bonilla for her second at bat of the day, and Lauren Mitsiaris due up for the Beacons. Molly St. Germain pitching for her 8th inning of work. She allowed 2 runs over the first 3 innings, only 1 run since back in the 7th, and she pitched her way out of a jam. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, and only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Opportunity to win the game for the Beacons. She got 2 back-to-back groundouts to end it and force extras. Morris, first pitch swinging, slow roller to second. Votto's there, the throw and a close play. In time to get Morse. Very close play, but it goes the defense's way. Score it 4-3, 1 quick out in the bottom of the 8th. And now it's Giovanna Bonilla looking for her 3rd hit of her collegiate career. She's 2 for 25 in her freshman season. 1 at bat today. She grounded out to the pitcher back in the 6th. Fists this one straight to short, and that's easy for Pacey. First pitch out. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 8th for St. Germain, who again seems to be getting better and better as the game goes on. Here's Lauren Mitsiaris, the senior, looking for her first hit of the day. She's 0 for 3. 3 groundouts. Does have home run power. First pitch swinging, hammers this one down the line and left, up into the wind. It's gone! Oh, ruled a foul ball. No! Hooking at the end. We're right on the line. That was a very close call. I personally thought it looped around the foul pole, but others say they thought maybe it was between the flagpole and the foul pole. It's a long strike one for Lauren Mitsiaris. Mitsiaris takes a ball, 1-1. A very close play for Lauren Mitsiaris, who has to regroup here at 1-1. And she takes outside for a ball. Now just looking to get on base, representing that winning run. And Kiera Prusmack is the 9-hole hitter. 2-1. Mitsiaris hits it hard, center field, falling quickly. Diving play in center. Wow, Eliza Guerrero picks it off the turf, and that's out number 3. We will head to the 9th, still tied here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. All right, we go to the 9th here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Boy, that was what an ending to the 8th inning. First, Lauren Mitsiaris hits one just foul that would have been a walk-off home run. Then a diving play in center by the center fielder Eliza Guerrero takes a hit away. So we move to the 9th. Keene State will send out 7, 8, 9. Crosby, Boduk, and Pacey. Scheduled for 2 7-inning games today. We've already gone overtime here in Game 1. Into the 9th. First pitch to Crosby is a strike. Shea Crosby Jr. from Salem, Connecticut. She's generally a right-handed batter, but this at-bat going up, standing as a lefty, trying to slap away. 0-1. Slaps this one perfectly to short. Braga's got it on one hop. Her throw, not in time. So Shea Crosby elects to slap this time and does it to a T. It's a base hit and leadoff runner on for Keene State in the 9th. Brings up Kristen Boduk, 265 hitter this season, 1 for 3 today. She bunted for a base hit in the 3rd, grounded out in the 5th, and tried to bunt for a base hit in the 7th, but grounded out. Bunts this one straight down to 3rd, and it dies as a fair ball. Another bunt single for Boduk. The 7 and 8 batters have reached for Keene State here in the top of the 9th. And we'll see a pinch hitter, Brooke Aruda, the freshman from Pawcatuck, Connecticut. So Aruda will hit for Pacey, who is 0 for 3 this season. Brooke Aruda has played in 10 games. She is 9 for 21. So 9 for 21 in a pinch hit role. That's a .429 batting average, 3 doubles, 5 RBIs. Great opportunity here for Aruda to open this game up in the top of inning number 9 with 2 on and nobody out. Pitch from Greenspan, line down the line and right. Running catch, Raskowski gets there. Runner tags at second and heads to 3rd. So Crosby's in safely after the hesitation. Fly out to right field is the first out of the inning, but turn the lineup over to Kayla Votto, who has been phenomenal today. 3 for 4 with 2 singles, a triple, and 2 runs scored. Go-ahead run at 3rd base. Beacons have the corners in right now, staying back up the middle. So a ground ball up the middle will drive in a run and give Keene State the lead in the 9th. Pitch from Jess Greenspan. Outside for a ball. Interesting decision to leave the middle infielders back here. 1-0. Ground ball, left of third, 1-1. Of course, you could get that steal first play with runners on the corners. Boduk's a speedy runner anyway. Would be surprised to see the Beacons throw through in that situation. 1-1. That's inside for a ball. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch coming from Jess Greenspan in her 9th inning of work for UMass Boston. 2-1. Hit hard down the line and left, falling quickly. Prusmack makes the catch. Runner tagging. The throw to Crosby, and Crosby safe. Sliding in ahead of Vento. Keene State leads on a sacrifice fly. Boduk moves to second. Kayla Votto continues her hot game. Her 13th RBI of the year on a sac fly to go along with 3 hits and 2 runs scored.
Now batting number 13, Molly St. Germain.
So it's 4-3 Keene State, runner on second, and Molly St. Germain, who's also 3 for 4 today, will hit. The top 2 spots in the Keene State order are 6 for 8 today, Votto and St. Germain. Pitch is low to St. Germain, who once again finds herself in line for the win inside the pitcher's circle when she heads back out in the 9th. (1-0). Hit in the air, right field, pretty deep. Raskowski settles underneath it and puts it away. That's the 3rd out of the inning, but Keene State scores. So the Owls lead 4-3, heading to the bottom of the 9th on the Beacons Broadcast Network. We move to the bottom of the 9th. UMass Boston needs at least 1 run to tie this game, 2 to win it. Same spot they were in going into the bottom of the 7th when the Beacons scored 1 to extend the game. And the same spot in the order is up here in the 9th. Kiera Prusmack will lead things off in the 9th spot. And then it's Ari Bellata and Gigi Braga. Prusmack is 3 for 3 today, 3 singles, including the game-tying run in the 7th after she singled on a ground ball to short. Prusmack hitting it better than .410 on the season. She has 7 hits over her last 3 games. Pitch from Molly St. Germain, and Prusmack bunts through it for strike 1. UMass Boston led 2-0 into the 6th. Keene State scored 2 runs to tie it in the 6th. They took the 3-2 lead in the top of the 7th. Beacons tied it in the bottom of the 7th, and now Keene State has jumped on top here in the top of the 9th on a sac fly by Kayla Votto. Prusmack pops it up right side, and the first baseman puts it away. Olivia Indorf, who's just re-entered, snatches out number 1. Here comes Ari Bellata. Top of the order for UMass Boston. Bellata's 1 for 3 today, a single and a run back in the 1st. She has twice popped out and once bunted. Takes inside for a ball. Remember, last inning the game nearly ended. Lauren Mitsiaris hit one home run distance, very close, fair or foul, ruled a foul ball. So we played on here to the 9th. This is pop foul. If the Beacons do not come back here, they'll leave themselves some opportunities to think about. They've left 7 runners in scoring position. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd with just 1 out in the 7th in a tie game, an opportunity to walk off Back-to-back groundouts sent it to extra innings. Popped up again inside the infield. The third baseman, Crosby, puts it away, and Keene State is 1 out away from winning a 9-inning rock fight. If Gigi Braga can reach, turn the line up to Roxy Vento, who is 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Braga's been on twice today. She's 0 for 1, a sac bunt, 2 walks, and a ground out. Braga takes a strike. Both walks have seen at least 7 pitches, a 9-pitch walk in the third, a 7-pitch walk in the 7th. 0-1, catches the plate as well. Count moves to 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Keene State wins a 9-inning back-and-forth battle. Only the second strikeout for Molly St. Germain, who picks up the win. Oh, a tough one for the Beacons. They fall to 16-8, 3-4 in the season. Keene State moves to 12-10, 3-2 on the season. Keene State wins 4-3 with a couple of runs in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and 1 in the 9th. Your winning RBI belongs to Kayla Votto. Molly St. Germain improves her record to 10-4. Jess Greenspan, the tough luck loser, she falls to 12-6. Game 2 coming up in only about 25 minutes, so we'll play Game 22 next on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center. We're set for game number 2 between UMass Boston and Keene State. Bill Spalding with you on LittleEast.tv. Keene State won game 1, 4-3 in 9 innings. So now the Owls are 4-1 in first place in the Little East Conference, 13-9 overall. UMass Boston 16-8, 3-4 in the conference. So they're currently a game and a half behind Keene State. They'll look to win this one to move within a half a game of Keene State by the end of the day. Your pitching matchup in Game 2, Megan Hoban for UMass Boston against Molly St. Germain, who will pitch for the second consecutive game for Keene State. St. Germain just went 9 innings last time out. She'll come right on back again and pitch. For Hoban, this will be her 7th appearance. It'll be her 6th start. Hoban this season is 2-2 with a 4.42 ERA. She's pitched 25 and a third innings, given up 25 hits. She has walked 18 and struck out 10. Here are the lineups for Game 2 of the doubleheader for Keene State. Game 1 hero Kayla Votto leads things off, bats first. Molly St. Germain bats second and pitches. Jenny Galavati is the designated player. Then it's Olivia Indorf, the first baseman. In the 5-hole, Eliza Guerrero, she's the center fielder. Brooke Aruda, the third baseman, bats 6th. Batting 7th, Brittany DeMota, she's the right fielder. In the 8-hole, it's Kristen Boduck, the left fielder. And the shortstop, Shea Crosby, bats 9th. For UMass Boston, their lineup looks like this in game number 2. Ari Bolata, the right fielder, a freshman, leads things off. And then it's Kiera Prusmack, who has 7 hits in her last 3 games. She moves from the 9 spot to the 2 spot and plays left field. Roxanne Vento, the catcher, will bat third. She's followed by cleanup batter designated player Gia Razkowski. Caitlin Morse plays second base and hits 5th today. Alyssa Tully down from the 5 spot to the 6 spot. She'll play third base and bat 6th. Lauren Mitziari has moved up from the 8 spot to the 7 spot. She bats 7th and plays first base. In the 8 hole, it's Taylor Paulina, who left last game with an injury, but she's back in center field ready to go. And Gigi Braga rounds out the order. Braga is the shortstop. These two teams getting psyched up. We will be racing the sun a bit here in game number 2. First pitch will be right around 6 o'clock. Sunset today in Boston is officially at 7:30, so we have an hour and a half of daylight to go in an effort to try to get 7 innings in. We were on an hour and a half pace for game number 1 before Keene State tied the game in the 6th inning, and then we went to extra innings and went through the 9th. Now you get a look at Megan Hoban's numbers this season, the freshman from Bedford, Massachusetts. I just gave them to you, a 4.42 ERA, a 2-2 record. When she's not walking hitters, she is very effective, but she does have 18 walks in 25 2/3 innings. So Hoban, bit of a change of pace from what you saw in game 1 from Greenspan. Jess Greenspan, a little more of a power pitcher. Hoban is a finesse pitcher. She throws a lot of off speed, she works the corners, and she'll pitch to contact if she can. Leading us off in game number 2 will be Kayla Votto. Votto was 3 for 4 in game 1. She scored 2 runs, and she drove in the game-winning run with an RBI sacrifice fly in the 9th. Umpires have flipped places. Susanna Dorley is now the home plate umpire. Peter Moscofian mans the field. First pitch to senior Kayla Dorley from Megan Hoban upcoming. First pitch at 5:59. Game 2 is underway with ball 1. Only one change in the defensive alignment for UMass Boston in this second game of the doubleheader, as Hoban finds the strike zone. Ari Bellata, who was the designated player in game 1, moves into right field, taking the place of Gia Razkowski, who moves to DP for this second game of the doubleheader. 1-1 from Megan Hoban. That's a strike as well. It's 1-2. Rounding out that Beacon defense, the center fielder Taylor Paulina, the left fielder Kiera Prusmack. Alyssa Tully plays third base. Gigi Braga plays short. Caitlin Morse is the second baseman. Lauren Mitziar is at first, and the catcher is Roxy Vento. 1-2. Fly ball center field. That's up for Paulina, testing her ankle early, and she makes the catch. Left the game with a minor injury in game 1, but back in game 2, and she puts it away. So 1 down, and here's Molly St. Germain, who will do yeoman's work today. She pitched 9 innings in game 1, and she's scheduled here to start game 2 as well. 3 hits in 5 at-bats in game 1 for Molly St. Germain, who's hitting better than 400 this season. St. Germain takes low for a ball. Runs scored and an RBI last game for St. Germain. Her RBI was her 10th of the season. (1-0). That catches the outside corner. Ball and a strike for Hoban. It's cold today, and with the sun going behind the clouds, getting even colder. Temperature only in the mid to lower 40s. Shadows right now between the mound and home plate. Advantage pitcher. Rise ball from Hoban is a ball. The shadows will be that way really for only this half inning and maybe the rest of the first inning. Whole infield will be in shadows by the time we get to the second or third inning, and the outfield will be in shadows likely by the 4th or 5th inning. Hoban's pitch popped up, foul, and out of play. 2-ball, 2-strike count to the 2-hole hitter, Molly St. Germain. She's a sophomore from Dover, New Hampshire. 2-2. Line drive, right side and through for a base hit. St. Germain is singled. She's on her way to second, and she gets there standing up. Molly St. Germain doubles with one down as Keene State's right back at it here in the first. So one out, base runner. Here's Jenny Galavati. Was 10 for her last 14 coming in. 0 for 4 in game one with a couple of strikeouts. Did drive one in the ninth inning, a fly ball to deep left field. Grounds this one hard to third. Tully stays down off the short hop. Long throw is on the money. Galavati retired 5-3. Molly St. Germain moves up 60 feet to third with 2 down. So 2 away for Olivia Indorf. Indorf picked up one of Keene State's 4 RBIs in the first game of today's doubleheader. Indorf, a junior from South Portland, Maine. It takes low for ball 1. Mentioned it in game 1. Every state in New England outside of Rhode Island is represented in Keene State's roster. Players from Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine. 1-0. Way up and outside. Count moves to 2-0. Again, started a little bit tardy here in this second game due to a 9-inning game 1. So we'll be racing sunlight from now until sunset at 7:30. Foul back to the screen. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Keene State up to 4-1 in the conference, 13-9 overall after the extra inning win in game 1. They're now a half game ahead of Western Connecticut State. Westcott currently playing game 1 of its doubleheader with Rhode Island College. Fly ball down the line, foul territory right side, and it gets down out of play. In between everybody. 2-ball, 2-strike count to Olivia Indorf with 2 down and a runner on third here in the first. Hoban towing the rubber. Her pitch. Ground ball hits slowly to short. Gigi Braga gobbles it up. Her throw is in time. She beats Indorf by half a step, but fumbles the ball. It dropped out of her mitt. Lauren Mitsiaris lost it at the end. It's an error on the first baseman, Lauren Mitsiaris, and Molly St. Germain scores. Wow, that throw was right on the money from Braga. Keene State leads 1-0 in the first. So now hitting Eliza Guerrero, popping it up. Catcher Vento runs and puts it away for the out. Well, that's it for the top of the first. We'll move to the bottom of inning number 1. 1-0 Keene State here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Molly St. Germain back in the circles. She's already pitched 9 innings today, picking up the win in game 1. That improved her record this season to 10-4, and she picked up her 11th complete game. She's finished all 11 games she started this season. She's pitched in 17 games overall. Now pitched 94 innings, given up 84 hits. She's allowed 24 earned runs, an ERA of about 1.82. Just 17 walks to go against 62 strikeouts for Molly St. Germain. Lineup for UMass Boston, Ari Bellotta, the right fielder, followed by Kiera Prusmack, the left fielder, then Roxy Vento, the catcher, Gia Raskowski, the DP, Caitlin Morse plays second base, Alyssa Tully's the third baseman, Lauren Mitsiaris bats seventh, plays first, Taylor Paulina is the center fielder batting eighth, and Bellotta starts the game with a first pitch single. Bottom of the first, Beacons have an opening base runner as Ari Bellotta has her second hit of the day. Finishing off that lineup, Gigi Braga, the shortstop, is the 9-hole hitter for the Beacons. So 2 hits today for Ari Bellotta. If you're UMass Boston here, you're seeing St. Germain for either the 4th or 5th time today. So you can start to figure her out. Kiera Prusmack slashes at this one. It's foul. Prusmack was on base 3 times in 4 at-bats in game number 1. She has 7 hits now over her last 3 games. Prusmack, a freshman from Houston, Texas. Beacons already down 1-0. This is bunted foul. 0-2 count to Kiera Prusmack with Ari Bellotta on first, nobody out, bottom 1, and Roxy Vento on deck. Oh, 2 popped into left field and down. Base hit. Kiera Prusmack's 4th hit of the day and her 8th hit over the Beacons' last 3 games. So Kiera Prusmack keeps hitting. The Beacons start 2 for 2. 2 on, nobody out for Roxy Vento. Vento is 3 for 4 in game 1 against St. Germain with 2 RBIs. It's an opportunity for Vento to keep on swinging, hitting .450 this season as she fouls off the first pitch. Vento's 2 RBIs in game 1 give her 22 RBIs so far this season. 0-1 to Vento, in tight for a ball. Ball and a strike to catcher Roxy Vento. 3-hole hitter in this order as the Beacons look to jump out with a big number. 10th inning of work today for Molly St. Germain, who pitched a complete game in game 1. And this is low, 2-1 to Vento. Bellotta and Prusmack have each singled to set the table. Wind is blowing out toward left field today. Vento takes a ball, it's 3-1. There it comes from Molly St. Germain. Hit hard, up the middle, and through for a base hit. Bellotta rounds third, stumbles down, and she'll have to scamper back to third. May have re-aggravated that injury from game number 1. No, excuse me, that was Paulina. Bellotta stepped on the bag and just went down immediately. So the training staff will come out and check on her. Boy, that didn't look great. Just crumpled as she rounded third after the 3rd straight single to start this first inning. Beacons already saw Taylor Paulina injure her leg back in game 1. Now Bellotta looks like she's trying to keep herself in the game as she stretches it out along third base. So Ari Bellotta on third, working things out with the training staff, and it looks like she may be replaced. She's taking the helmet off, and here she comes. So Ari Bellotta will head off the field. Second Beacon outfielder injury of the day. Bellotta exits. Talia Ardenga will be forced to make an early change. And the Beacons will send in Giovanna Bonilla. So an injury replacement for the second straight game.
For UMass Boston, number 5, Giovanna Bonilla.
So Bonilla in at third. 3 straight singles to start the bottom of the first for UMass Boston. Did give Molly St. Germain a break to try and regroup there as the training staff tended to Bellotta. And now Gia Raskowski bats.
Now batting number 16, Gia
Raskowski had 1 hit in game 1. 18 RBIs this season. Pop up to short. That would have been the infield fly, and it's caught immediately by Shea Crosby. 1 out. Bases still loaded for Caitlin Morse. Remember, in game 1, an extra inning, 1-run loss. The Beacons left 7 runners on base.
Now batting number 7, Caitlin Camo Morse.
In game 2, bases loaded early, trying to pick up those runs. Caitlin Morse, the captain, takes ball 1. Morse, a senior from Arlington, Massachusetts, played at Arlington High School. Lines this one hard, but foul. Slashed it wide of the left field line. Count moves to 1-1 on Morse. Morse and Roxy Vento, both out of Arlington High School. 3 and 5 hitters in the Beacons order. Morse has been all over the batting order this season. She's led off. She's hit in other spots, including the 6th spot, and today in the 5th spot. Grounder to St. Germain, to home for 1. Elwell back to first, not in time. Fielder's choice, Morse reaches, but Bonilla is retired, and St. Germain is 1 out away from escaping a bases-loaded, nobody-out jam. Remember, 3 straight singles to start the game for UMass Boston in the bottom of the first. Alyssa Tully's the batter, and she takes a called strike 1. Tully, a sophomore, hitting at .333 on the season with 5 RBIs. Rise ball is high. Beacons trail 1-0 after a 1-run top of the first for Keene State. 1-1. Fly ball, left field, medium depth. Boduk's there, and she's got it. Molly St. Germain retires 3 in a row after loading the bases. Beacons do not score and leave 3 on base. We head to the second. 1-0 Keene State. To the second we go, game 2 of a doubleheader. Keene State took game 1, 4-3 in extra innings. Game 2, 1-0 Keene State after Molly St. Germain doubled and scored in the first. St. Germain came home on an error on first baseman Lauren Mitsiaris, so the lone Keene State run unearned as Megan Hoban works her second inning, and she'll face Brooke Aruda to start it. Aruda, a freshman, hitting at .429 on the season, but she waves at this one. Aruda pinch hit in game 1, had just the 1 at bat. This is her 7th start of the season. She's 9 for 22. 0-1 to Aruda. That's a strike on the outside corner. The off speed from Hoban brings the count to 0-2. 0-2 delivery. Cold, strike 3 on the outside corner. Megan Hoban picks up her first strikeout of the day and her 11th this season.
Now batting number 3, Brittany DeMota.
One down for Brittany DeMota, the right fielder. DeMota has started all 22 games for Keene State this season. This is her 23rd consecutive start to start the year. Pitch low for ball 1. DeMota's a junior out of Monroe, Connecticut. Watches the rise ball high. Entered today hitting at .229 on the season. Here's the 2-0. Popped up foul. 2 balls and a strike. Keene State 38-3 all time against UMass Boston, including the win earlier today. A little bit of payback for last year's Beacons Little East semifinal win. Pfister, first base side, bouncing foul away from Mitsiaris. Of course, Keene State's the defending regular season Little East champion. 11-3 in conference play last year. UMass Boston looking for its first official home win. 0-4 now at home, though theoretically they're 1-5 at this field. Ball fouled away down the line and out of play again. Remember, those Plymouth State games played a couple of weeks back were technically Plymouth State home games, so that the Beacons got 1 win in 2 games. They don't count as home wins. UMass Boston now 0-4 at home, and with just 6 runs scored. They get 8 runs scored. Quick math there. 5 runs in 21 innings coming in. Now 8 runs scored in 30 innings at home. Pfister towards second. Morse corrals it and throws in time. 2 quick outs for Megan Hoban in the circle, and she'll face Kristen Boduck. Boduck twice singled with bunts back in game number 1 of the doubleheader. She is a switch hitter, and here she'll bat from the right-hand side. She was 2 for 4 overall in game 1. Watches high and inside for a ball. Boduck seems like one of those that swings away from the right side, looks to slap hit or bunt from the left side. This is a 1-0 to Boduck. Up and away for a ball, 2-0. Boduck, a sophomore from Dover, New Hampshire, high school teammates and classmates with the starting pitcher, Molly St. Germain. Here's a 2-0 to Boduck. That's a called strike at the knees. Beacon freshman Megan Hoban out of Bedford, Massachusetts. Up in the count, 2-1. Her delivery way out of the zone. It's 3-1. Hoban had some walk issues recently. She's walked 18 in 26 and 2/3 innings. 3-1 to Boduck. That's outside, ball 4. So Boduck walks on 5 pitches. She's a base runner with 2 down in the second. 9-hole hitter Shea Crosby will bat.
Number 20, Shea Crosby.
Crosby, a junior from Salem, Connecticut, out of East Lyme High School. Pitch from Hoban, first pitch swinging, fly ball right field, straight to Bonilla, and she puts it away. Joanna Bonilla with the catch out in right field, and that's the 3rd out of inning 2. Hoban works around a 2-out walk. We go to the bottom of the second, still 1-0 Keene State. We move to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Keene State. Beacons loaded the bases with nobody out in the first, but Molly St. Germain came back to get 3 consecutive Beacons. Forced Raskowski to pop to short, got Caitlin Morse to bounce into a fielder's choice back to the mound, and Alyssa Tully to fly out to left to end that first inning. 7-8-9 for UMass Boston. Lauren Mitziaris, Taylor Paulina, and Gigi Braga for the Beacons. Mitziaris is 0 for 4 in game 1, trying to get herself going here in game number 2. Senior, a .328 hitter coming into the day, and she takes ball 1. Beacons 16-8 on the season. They left Florida 9-1. Great start to the year. Pitch misses down and away for a ball. It's 2-0. Seem to be getting things going before a little bit of a step back over the past couple of weeks, but turn the corner again. Mitziaris pounds this one foul with the sweep over the weekend against UMass Dartmouth. That foul ball reminds you of the 8th inning game 1 when Lauren Mitziaris just missed a walk-off home run. Ball ruled foul on a borderline ball near the foul pole in left. Swinging at the 2-1, Mitziaris fouls this away and moves the count to 2-2. Nobody out, bottom 2. Beacons trail 1-0. Molly St. Germain pitching her 11th inning today. And she gets Mitziaris with the rise ball. First strikeout in game 2, 3rd today for Mitziaris overall. One away, Taylor Paulina is the batter.
Now batting number 15, Taylor Paulina.
Paulina flew to center in her first at-bat of game number 1. Here she drives it through the hole for a base hit. So Paulina, who left game 1 with an injury, comes through with the one-out single. She's a base runner and has the Beacons' 4th hit of game 2. Brings up Gigi Braga.
Now batting number 3, Gigi Braga.
Braga was 0 for 2 in game number 1. She walked twice, scored a run, bunted, grounded out, and struck out. Braga takes high, ball 1. Gigi entered the day with a .313 batting average and 5 RBIs. 1-0. Away from the catcher, Elwell. That's a pass ball as Paulina makes it into second. Bounced off Elwell's mitt. Braga now has a runner in scoring position to work with. 2-ball, no strike count to Gigi Braga, the 9-hole hitter. Then the lineup turns back over. Braga takes outside for a ball. Remember, of course, in the number 1 spot now, Giovanna Bonilla replacing Ari Bellata, who left the first inning after injuring her ankle rounding 3rd. 3-0 count to Braga. There's strike 1. 3-1. Ground ball slowly hit to short. Check back to the runner. The throw from the shortstop Crosby across for 1. Runner gets to 3rd. Paulina. Ball's backed up well by Crosby at short to make sure that there was no room for Paulina to get home on that wild throw the other way. So score it 6-3. Crosby across to Indorf. Paulina on 3rd with 2 down, and Giovanna Bonilla batting. Bonilla was 0 for 2 in game 1 as a defensive replacement for Paulina, who was injured. She's now 2 for 26 this season. First pitch to Bonilla from Molly St. Germain is a strike. St. Germain's pitched through 11 innings of work today, allowing just 3 earned runs. She has stranded 9 runners in scoring position. Bonilla pops this one up. Long run in foul territory, and the second baseman, Vento, gets there. So the Beacons strand another runner in scoring position. Their third of game 2, their 10th of the day, and we head to the third with Keene State still leading 1-0. We move to the top of the third, racing the sunlight here in Boston. About an hour of daylight left. Keene State leads 1-0 as Megan Hoban pitches for the Beacons. Kayla Vado, the leadoff batter for Keene State, grounds one to third. Fair ball, third baseman Tully, and now the umpire changes her call to foul. Originally pointed fair, pulled up foul. Does seem like the right call. So strike one to Kayla Vado. Vado flew out to center to start the game. In game 1, she was 3 for 4. 2 runs scored, a triple, 2 singles, a sacrifice fly that drove in the game-winning run to boot. Vado fists this one up behind home plate. Vento gives it a look, and it's out of play. No ball, 2-strike count to Kayla Vado, the leadoff batter, against Megan Hoban, Beacon's second pitcher of the day. Jess Greenspan pitched game 1. Pitched well, but earned the loss in a 9-inning outing. That's way low, slipped out of Hoban's hand, so the count moves to 1-2. Chilly, breezy day in Boston. Temperatures have dipped well below 50 and now below 45 degrees with the wind blowing out hard to left. Here comes a 1-2. Up and away for a ball. It's 2-2. Megan Hoban's 2-2 pitch popped up. First base side. Mitzi Yaris gives it a look. Wind blows it back and down, foul. Boy, it looked like that ball might have been ticketed out of play. The wind's blowing so fiercely that it ended up bouncing only about 3 feet foul on the dirt. So Vado will see another pitch as she continues to battle Hoban here. Here's a 2-2. Ball's off the plate away and the count runs full. Vado has fouled off a couple of pitches. She will see her 8th pitch of this at-bat.